There has been a lot of players that surprised me this season in terms of like how they re-innovated themselves. There has been a lot of overperformers. For example, Rafinha has overperformed from his previous season. Frankie the same, Pedri the same, Lamine Yamal the same, Lewandowski the same, Ferran Torres also the same. They have all overperformed and exceeded their expectations. But one of the players that we have not really talked about enough, it has to be Eric Garcia. To me, Eric Garcia is in my top 3 in terms of who has really came up from a season where it was very underwhelming in terms of exceeding expectations. Eric Garcia is in my top 3 alongside with Rafinha and Frankie de Jong. And the reason why I'm saying that is because I want to first of all talk about 6 different points. And one of them is going to be about his positional versatility, which is the most fascinating thing about Eric Garcia's season under Hansi Flick, is the fact that throughout this season, he was playing as a CDM next to Pedri and he played well. He played as a center back next to Barca and he played well. And now with Jules Kounde being injured, he's playing as a right back and he's playing in that right back position so freaking well. It's going to reshape how Barcelona approach this summer transfer window. Once again, he was originally a center back who is now adapting to the right back position, and his performances as of late has been amazing. From his offensive support for Lamine Yamal to his defensive solidity, it is simply amazing. And I think that with also his offensive contributions, right, Eric Garcia netted 5 goals across all competitions this season, including a crucial goal in the 4-3 El Clasico victory over Real Madrid. It's highlighting his ability to contribute in offensive areas when it is needed. And the fact that he is known for his precise passing, Garcia has been instrumental, in my opinion, in terms of breaking the opponent's line, initiating attacks, ranking among the top Barcelona players in terms of passing metrics. And I believe that Eric Garcia is also very intelligent in terms of positioning, anticipation, and also being key in neutralizing threats, such as like defending against Vinicius very well in high stake moments. Like usually when we talk about players and they're performing well, we're like, okay, like he does well on average against like mid-table teams or lower level teams. But Eric Garcia does that. On top of that, he brings good performances in high stake matches like against Inter and like against Real Madrid. It's very fascinating. And so like I've said, to wrap up point number 1, Eric Garcia's strong season finale is reshaping Barcelona's plans. You cannot ignore a player that has performed against Real Madrid and Inter Milan as a right back. And the fact that Barcelona are going to be looking at players like Frimpong, Vanderson, and Mark Pubel, right? These 3 players, even though they're good, and I did talk about how Frimpong could be a definitive player on the right back position, if Eric Garcia continues to be consistent, I would not be surprised if Hansi Flick just says, you know what, I wanted Frimpong, I wanted Vanderson, but with Eric Garcia's rise, I want to keep him as like a real reinforcement in the right back position and to compete against Jules Kounde. Because when we compare these 2 players, I would say that Eric Garcia is more composed and technical compared to Jules Kounde. I think that he offers something different for Hansi Flick, and especially when Barcelona have to go up against teams where, you know, they sit deep or you have to press high, Eric Garcia is a much better solution. So now moving on towards point number 2, it kind of goes back around to what I said earlier, Garcia's versatility and chemistry with Lamine Yamal. Back in the 2023 and 2024 season, when he was on loan with Girona, it sharpened his abilities to adapt and build up play and play in a back 3. And Flick has now utilized this and has now deployed him as a right back, hence the reason why he is very comfortable playing in those positions. Eric Garcia's connection with Lamine Yamal on the right side has also been evident, just like how Jules Kounde's chemistry with Lamine Yamal has also been evident. If you can build a great chemistry with Lamine Yamal, that is a huge plus, and Eric Garcia has that with Lamine Yamal. And even, you know, Eric Garcia jokingly, during a post-match press conference, he stated, that bastard Lamine Yamal could not pass me the ball more because he makes me run for nothing. It just shows that there is chemistry and there is personality. Moving on towards point number 3, the intelligence over the flashy, you know, typical right back. Garcia's offensive impact is immense. And even though he might not be the most, I would say, entertaining right back in the world, like what people like to see with Alejandro Balde, Eric Garcia has high intelligence. He is consistently creating passing lanes, linking the defense to the attack. His intelligent movements, his approach that contrast with direct dribblers, it is amazing. He has evolved into a very, I would say, connective tissue type of player who can bridge the midfield and the defense and making those timely underlapping or overlapping runs. Making open spaces for others, especially for players like Pedri and Rafinha. You need a player like Eric Garcia. We move on towards point number 4, the passing excellence that breaks pressure lines, right? Garcia ranks at the top for Barcelona when it comes to passes breaking pressure lines per 90 minutes. On average, it's 6.36, surpassing players like Fermin Lopez, surpassing players like Jules Kounde, making him essential against compact defenses, right? He can make those passes that break the lines, and that is, once again, essential. He is very calm under pressure. He has the ability to launch low, quick passes through central channels, and once again, Barcelona need that. Point number 5, role in Barcelona's build-up play compared to Jules Kounde. On the left, Balde offers vertical dribbling. In the center, Kubarsi and Araujo distribute well with the ball. Kounde's limitations on progressing the ball have hindered Barcelona's right side, right? So like, we know that he can defend well, we know that he can make those crosses, but in terms of ball progression with the ball, dribbling with the ball, hence the reason why I was saying that, Frimpong can bring that. With Eric Garcia, he gives you a much smoother transition, a cleaner build-up, diagonal balls. He can dribble with the ball. He can go into the midfield or the half space for Lamine Yamal, allowing Barcelona with a much more balanced approach in the attack. Point number 6, I would say his tactical adaptability enhances Flick's structure. Eric Garcia's ability to play as a inverted right back or third center back in build-up or classic fullback depending on the opponent's structure gives Flick multiple options without changing personnel. In the matches against Inter and the matches against Real Madrid, there's a lot of evidence there. You guys can go watch it. Eric Garcia played in those roles seamlessly. And, Hansi Flick, he could have adjusted the shape mid-match with no problem because of Eric Garcia. Moving on towards point number 7, his defensive solidity in high pressure games. Eric Garcia's anticipation, physical timing, pressing trap recognition. We need that when Barcelona are maintaining a high defensive line. And, one of the things that have been very risky is that, we could get exposed at any moment, but Eric Garcia anticipates everything very well. Against Vinicius, he defended proactively, pressing him early, not giving him no space to turn. It's critical because Vinicius is faster than 99% of all defenders. So it's insane. And I think I'm going to add one last point here, which is point number 8, because I did say 7, but I'm going to add one more point here. Point number 8, he is reframing the right back role. And I believe that he is representing what Sergio Roberto gave to FC Barcelona, right? The legacy. The legacy of Sergio Roberto was the fact that he was so versatile. You could have placed him in any position, and Sergio Roberto will give you something extraordinary. It's the same thing can be said with Eric Garcia. The resurgence of Eric Garcia has given the exact same reputation of Sergio Roberto. Like whatever Sergio Roberto was to Xavi Hernandez, Eric Garcia is to Hansi Flick. It is the exact same thing. With no transfer fee involved, Eric Garcia is budget friendly. It's like, bro, like you win in all situations here. Right back, CDM, center back. It's just, like I wouldn't even be surprised if we go into the next season and it's just definitive that Eric Garcia is our primary right back next to Jules Kounde, and he no longer sees the center back position nor the CDM position anymore, because we're going to be having Bernal back, we're going to be having Casado back, Christensen is also going to be coming back. Maybe if Ta comes and Araujo leaves, that's fine, right? Who knows? Eric Garcia's right back position could be his. So in the end, I'm happy because Hansi Flick convinced Eric Garcia to stay back in January. There was a 1-on-1 conversation between Flick and Garcia. Garcia was so close to leaving. He was going to go to Como. Like, go back to the videos that I make back in January 2025. He was going to go to Como, or he was going to have a straight transfer to Girona. But Flick promised him a big role, and he kept that promise. And Eric Garcia, who is now a regular, has over 40 appearances in the 2024-2025 season, making him one of the most used players in the squad. And all of this is very unexpected. And it's going to help Barcelona financially as well, because it's going to be redirecting those funds. Like, we were going to spend maybe 35 to 50 million euros on a right back. But the fact that Eric Garcia has rise to this occasion, we can redirect those funds to maybe the midfield, maybe the striker position, maybe the left wing position. Who knows? It does change a lot of things. He is contracted until June 2026, and I wouldn't be surprised if we hear in about 3 or 4 months that Joan Laporta wants to renew, or Deco wants to renew the contract of Eric Garcia for another 2 or 3 years. He's still very young. He's only 24 years old. This is still a player in the making. So let's see. I'm happy with this redemption arc that Eric Garcia has, and with his perseverance, his adaptation, his football intelligence. I believe that Eric Garcia deserves another season with FC Barcelona. I don't think that he's going to be leaving to Girona nor Como or wherever he was supposed to go 5 months back. His future is at Barcelona, and I believe that Hansi Flick will utilize him well. So let me know in the comment sections down below. What do you believe is going to happen to Eric Garcia and his future? Do you believe that he should leave? Do you believe he should have continuity? Do you believe that Eric Garcia can be the great reinforcement on the right back position and give Jules Kounde some rest for the next season? Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.